scoring this main event from ringside, from Cromwell, Connecticut, Stephen Epstein, from West Hartford, Connecticut, George Smith, and from Yorktown Heights, New York, Fred Ucci, and our referee in charge, the third man to the ring, Michael Ortega. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the NABA Super Middleweight Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Mohegan Sun, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks with red and black trim, fighting out of St. Petersburg, Florida by way of Davenport, Iowa. He weighed in at a trim and ready 165 pounds with a record of 24 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. He has 23 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the USBA and NABF middleweight champion, introducing Kid Dynamite Antwun Echols. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner, this 12-round vacant championship bout, wearing black trunks with white trim, fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 167 pounds. His record stands at 36 wins, 7 losses, with 26 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked the number 4 super middleweight contender. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former IBF Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Charles the Hatchet Brewer. Once again, a referee in charge, Michael Ortega, now to give instructions, 12 rounds of boxing schedule.
Gentlemen, went over the rules. I want a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Best of luck to both of you. Touch them up.
Charles Brewer told us he is looking for the knockout. A natural left-hander who became a conventional fighter, so he has more power in his left. Known throughout his career as a pretty fast starter, very aggressive. Echols, a high work rate, good punching power, who says he'll test Brewer's chin immediately. Here we go, round 1 scheduled for 12.
Steve, we just came off 2 one-round knockouts, well, 2 early knockouts. I would not be surprised if this goes 1 or goes the full 12.
Both mainly like to brawl. Brewer told us he expected Echols to come out very aggressively right from the opening bell.
Both showing respect, got the hands high, very tentative, good jabs, but the jabs are not really meant to necessarily land yet. There's the first left hook by Brewer.
Echols said his power will be the difference, but he'll also look to use his boxing skills more, fight more like number 1 junior middleweight Winky Wright, also trained by Echols' new trainer, Dan Birmingham. Echols has been through a series of trainers of late. Seems to be settled down, though, with Dan Birmingham.
Both looking to establish the jab. There's a right hand by Echols. Now Echols coming in.
Some good shots there on that inside by Charles Brewer. Echols now turning it up.
Talked about Echols being busy. Here he goes. This is what he needs to do.
All over Brewer, and then Brewer wisely gets out of the corner. Brewer feels that Echols can be careless and that he is more of the harness type fighter.
Nice right hand by Charles Brewer.
Ebb and flow to this first round. Some telling punches early. Now back comes Echols. Back comes Brewer, but Brewer missing with the left right.
Both fighters trying to get some power, get some respect, get their pound of flesh, as I like to call it. Both of them landing well and getting in return.
Everybody figuring this would be a shootout, and it's off to that kind of a start. Echols trying to go to the body with the left. Those punches by Brewer blocked by Echols, so is that jab.
Brewer is how much more effective Echols is when he's pushing Brewer back.
Brewer feels that Echols can fight going backwards and that he can. There's a big right hand that got through the defense by Brewer. Oh, heavy right on the top of Echols' head.
You know, when Echols rubbed his head like that's illegal. It's not illegal to get hit on top of the head.
No way. It's illegal to get hit on the back of the head. Some good action here in the opening round. Furious exchanges. And Echols sticks his tongue out at Brewer.
Very close round.
Hey, Phil. Okay, keep your hands up high. Don't drop them.
Keep your hands high.
You're not as strong as they say. I know, but it don't work like that. Get that. But keep your hands up high, okay? Keep it up high.
Hit the body and throw the right hand.
Okay. Keep your hands
right in, right behind it.
Bring that left hand right back up because you're going to be throwing that right hand. Okay? Now you keep your hand.
Stay in your rhythm. Don't be flat-footed, all right? Box in your rhythm. Throw in the feint every now and then. When he's looking for your jab, throw the feint. Throw the feint in, double feint. Stay in control. Nice 4 or 5 punch combinations.
Ended around Antwun Echols as the bell rings. That's not a boxing move I highly recommend. There's that little tongue stick out.
You don't get points for that.
Hands high, move. Step to the side.
Bobby Boogaloo Watts in the face of Charles Brewer there. Stylish Philadelphia middleweight who beat marvelous Marvin Hagler in Philadelphia in 1976, but got crushed in the rematch.
Well, I've said it before. You know how I feel about Boogaloo Watts. In his day, one of the premier boxers. And I'll tell you what, I saw him give boxing lessons to many a man, including a good friend of mine named Mario Rosa at the Garden. He could box.
Well, terrific action of the first round. Round 2.
Round 1 was as close to an even round as you want to get. I think Antwun Echols outworked Brewer just a little bit more, threw a few more shots, a little more aggressive. He gave the round by the slightest of margins to Echols.
What about the power punches, Bobby?
Power punches are good, but I don't know that Brewer landed enough to offset the scoring because Echols threw a few of his own.
Brewer coming back with a left hook off the head there, and a right hand, and down goes Echols.
There's the power shot.
A right to the head.
5, 6, 7.
Echols complaining as he gets up.
Come here. All right?
He was complaining, I'm not sure about what. That right hand was as clean as the day is long.
And Brewer looking to finish it here in the second. Feverishly attacking.
Echols is not sturdy right now, and he's not holding on.
Oh, what a left hand by Brewer.
Don't push him. Don't push him.
Brewer being very accurate with these punches, and a left uppercut on left hook, and down goes Echols for the second time. Halfway through the second. He's got a lot of time to survive here.
7. Hey, you all right? Come here, walk to me.
No 3 knockdown rule.
Well, he's got a lot of time to survive. A minute's an eternity in this situation.
Back comes Brewer.
Break. Step back. Don't
Michael
hold him.
Ortega
Don't
with
grab
his
him.
hands full. Telling Echols not to grab. Well, the step up to super middleweight here by Echols may be proving costly.
Well, I'll tell you what, a big, powerful super middle that hits like this, you show you got to have a big chin. You're not going to be able to go the distance.
Brewer has had Echols down 2 times here in the second round. Echols gamely fighting back.
Echols has a little pop of his own, but right now his feet aren't under him. You can't derive any power from being off balance.
Echols very wobbly. Ortega looking very closely at this.
I'll tell you what, he's close to stopping it, Steve. And all Echols has to do is hold on for another 10 or 12 seconds. He might stand the storm.
He has 18 more seconds, Echols. Can he make it through this storm of Charles Brewer? Brewer with a left and a right hand.
Watch your head. Let him out. Watch your head.
Oh, big left just before the bell. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell any round.
5, 6, 7. Hey, you all right? Come here. Walk to me. All right. That's it.
And there's the bell. What an awful round for Antwun. Echols down 3 times.
Doctor in there. Let the doctor in.
He's all right. He's all right. He's okay.
Come on.
He's okay.
Work.
All right, listen. You gotta punch. This guy's on a roll now. You're gonna have to punch to keep him off you, all right? Stiff jab. Stab him with the jab, and you gotta come back with a right hand and hook. No, don't just jab and stick and move. You're gonna have to hold your own and punch with this guy. All right? All right? Breathe. It's okay. You weathered the storm. The storm's over.
We got him 3 different knockdowns in this round. One is just a pure, crisp right hand. Right over the down jab. That playing around will get you in trouble every time. There it is. Right over the jab. Clean as a whistle. Here, a nice left uppercut and a left hook. Second knockdown. He goes right to the canvas. And the last one, again, he comes in leaping in with that left uppercut. A left hook behind it. Down to all fours goes Echols. He's in serious trouble.
He is getting annihilated as we enter round 3. Those were vicious knockdowns in which he was short-circuited on each occasion. And Brewer goes right back to work.
Brewer did something I like and I like to do when I was younger. Your man was hurting around before. Test him. See how much he recovered in that minute.
Echols' nickname is Kid Dynamite, but he got blown up in that last round, Bob.
He sure did. And he caught Brewer and he hurt Brewer.
Echols all over Brewer, but Echols goes flying to the canvas.
The referee.
Right?
It's a knockdown against Brewer, not Echols.
Brewer's was held up in the ropes. They called it a knockdown.
One of the strangest things we've seen.
Hey, come here. Come to me. You all right?
The referee went to separate him, almost like he did with Hopkins, and he pushed him down.
Brewer said, "I'm cool" to Ortega. Now Brewer's in trouble off that left hook. What a recovery by Echols.
And I'll tell you what, the Brewer's still a heavier puncher here.
Oh my goodness! A roundhouse right by Echols and Brewer stumbling around.
Wait, coming up.
Brewer's is in trouble. This is amazing. Talk about a street fight.
Brewer, it's being stopped. Echols, who was down 3 times in the last round, wins the fight.
I'll tell you
Brewer
what.
is in disbelief.
You gotta question that the referee stopped it that quick after Echols was all but out. That was a little quick considering you let another fighter go down 3 times and get in trouble 4.
And you can hear the crowd's reaction. They think it was too quick. Echols' family celebrates. What an amazing, dramatic turnaround after Echols was down 3 times in the second. He comes back to stop Brewer in the third.
Was that the battle of chins or the battle of the lack thereof? Every punch seemed to hurt everybody.
And this crowd is upset at what they think is an early stoppage by referee Michael Ortega.
You know, have to be somewhat realistic, Steve. After the 1 knockdown and a big staggering, he stops it where Echols was down 3 times on the floor and staggered once or twice in between. That's 5 in troubles compared to 2, and 2 became a stoppage as opposed to the 5 previous rounds. So it does look a little odd.
What a stirring turnaround for this man, Antwun Echols. And speaking of dramatic stuff, check this out again.
Well, watch what happens here. He hurts Brewer on the inside with a punch right there. And you see Brewer's legs get a little funny. Now he hits him, and the referee calls this a knockdown right here because the reps hold him up. He calls it a knockdown, but the referee pushes him all the way to the canvas and turns him around face first.
And he almost nailed the ref with a left hook.
Now here comes a big right hand where Echols just whips one over the top, and here goes Brewer again in trouble. Now I think the difference may be that Echols went to the floor every time. Watch what happens to Brewer. He goes up against the ropes, tries to hold on. Here the referee's gonna break them, but Brewer goes back to the ropes and his head gets stuck up in the air getting punched. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he doesn't go to the ground, but I'll tell you what, that's a quick stoppage. I don't care what anyone says, that's a quick stoppage compared to 3 full knockdowns and some of the punishment Echols took in the round before. They're gonna let Echols go down 3 times. I think Brewer deserved a bit of a break there.
He went down 55 seconds into the second, a minute 32, and then 2:57 of the second round. And then he put Brewer down, although the rope saved him, 30 seconds into round 3, although Echols went flying to the canvas after being pushed inadvertently by the referee. And the end came at unofficially 1:21 of round 3. Let's get the official word from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute, 21 seconds in round number 3. Our referee in charge, Michael Ortega, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout and the new NABA Super Middleweight Champion, Kid Dynamite, Antwun Echols.
Well, Bobby, the action was so fierce that the fans wanted to see more.
From a trainer's perspective, this is a defensive nightmare. Every punch thrown almost landed, and every punch that landed caused damage.
This should be some interesting post-fight reaction coming up momentarily as Tim Smith gathers the troops up in the ring.
More than anything, I want to hear the referee's explanation for allowing a fighter to be down 3 times, and just, it's not even 2 knockdowns for the second guy. He got in a little bit of trouble, and he stopped it. He jumped in pretty quick.
Well, they're going at it again. Let's go to Tim Smith. In the
Guys, there's chaos in the ring. I don't know if we can get these 2 guys together because they're very angry. Their corners are very angry at each other. And let's go over to Brewer. Let's get Brewer first. Charles, let's get you in here first because you're really upset right now. It was a chaotic situation. You had him down 3 times in the first round. The referee did not stop it.
All of a sudden, he knocks me down. I get up, my head is very clear. All of a sudden, he jumps in, want to give me a count and call a fight on. What the hell is that? Come on.
And in the second round, how much trouble were you in?
I wasn't in a whole lot of trouble. I was in the process of clearing my head and getting back into the fight. And then all of a sudden, it's chaos.
Okay, we're going to show you the second round right here. I want you to walk me through what was actually going on and what you saw and what was happening.
I got caught with a counter right. And it was a good shot. It caught me clean. But I was in the process of clearing my head with this right here, tying him up, so I get myself regrouped.
So you're clear-headed here, and then you take another shot.
Okay, but I'm not out of it. I'm not nowhere near out of it. Look at this. I'm nowhere near out of it. What is that?
So
They should have given me
now you always talked about going to Germany and getting ripped off in Germany in terms of poor decisions. How does this rate in terms of your experience with politics?
To have this happen on my home turf, I feel it's a disgrace to boxing again. It's a clear disgrace to boxing again. I wasn't out on my feet. By no means, way, shape, or form, I was out on my feet at all.
Would you like to do this again with him?
I don't think he wants to do it again. To tell the truth, I'd tear his ass up in a minute. But I don't think he wants to do this again.
Okay. It certainly was a very, very controversial fight. And we're going to walk over now and talk to Antwun Echols, who won the fight. Now, there were 3 knockdowns in the second round that you survived. The referee did not stop it in the second round. So Brewer is obviously upset about that. How hurt were you in the second round, and how did you recover?
I got on my feet, so that proves the point that I was all right. He came back and knocked him out. That's what a true champion does.
Now, did you think that he was out of it in the third round? I mean, did you think that he was so hurt that the fight should have been stopped in the third round?
If you don't respond, you're hurt. I had him hurt over there. I thought the referee was going to stop me.
Okay, let's look at the monitor right now, and you describe what's going on here.
Ooh, that was that uppercut that set up. I hurt him with the uppercut. And before that, the referee was going to stop it, and he didn't, so I continued with the uppercuts and the overhand rights.
Now, do you think that this was a fair decision by the referee to stop it?
I do, because I kept putting on the punishment. I'm too strong for Charles right now. I trained 6 hard weeks. I had Winky Wright and Santiago Samaniego up there. They're just putting it on me for 6 weeks with Jimmy Williams. I also like to thank my new trainer, Dan Birmingham, and for getting me in shape.
Right, now stepping up to 168 pounds, apparently not a big problem for you. Are you comfortable here comfortable enough to stay here?
Hey, I'm comfortable enough to stay here. But if I get a big payday down at 160 to go at Trinidad or somebody other like that, I will do that. But hopefully Trinidad comes up to 168. I believe he is. We even take a Roy Jones.
Now, would you want to fight Brewer again at 168 pounds? Because this was a very, very controversial ending.
I have nothing to prove. We had our fight, and I knocked him out. I have nothing to prove.
So so in your mind, no rematch?
No rematch. We want Kawasaki.
You want Calzaghe for the WBO title?
Yes, we do, for the WBO title. He's the best out there. That's what we want. I mean, I proved my point. I took the fight, and now I want my just dues, you know. I feel I deserve it.
Okay, congratulations. And
Thank you, Showtime.
Let's get it over to the referee, Michael Ortega. He's the man who made the decision, and he's being thanked right now by Antwun Echols. What did you see in the third round that made you decide that Brewer was in trouble as opposed to the second round when there were 3 knockdowns when Echols was in trouble?
Well, when Echols was in trouble, he got up all 3 times. I checked his eyes. He looked very good. I thought he was still in the fight. When Brewer went into the corner here, it looked to me like he was hurt, almost lost his mouthpiece. He was basically saved by the ropes. So I called that as a knockdown because, in my opinion, the ropes weren't there. He would have went through those ropes.
Okay, now we're going to show you on the monitor what happened in the third round, and you just sort of walk me through what you're seeing here.
Okay. I'm trying to see if this is the first time he goes into the ropes unhurt.
This is the stoppage.
The stoppage. Okay, right here he gets hit 4 times with, in a row. You can see he's still wobbling.
But
to jump in and stop.
But you didn't really give him an opportunity to take a count or anything.
There is no mandatory 8 count in ABC rules. Okay. Basically, he knew where the ropes were. The ropes were behind him. Okay. He took several shots right to the head. And, it looked to me like, he wasn't protecting himself. And as you can see, even when I jumped in to stop the fight, he's still wobbling, he's still up.
But it looked like to me that he was protecting himself and he was defending himself. Even when you stepped in to stop it, it looked like he was defending himself.
Putting your hands up is one thing, defending yourself is another. But, I mean, that's the way you see it. I see it, and I'm a lot closer than you. And, as far as I'm concerned, I thought he was very hurt. And, I had to do something. I couldn't give him a standing 8, and I had to stop. I had to jump in. So that was my decision on that.
So you're clear in your mind that it was a good stoppage?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have no question. If I had to do it all over, exact same way.
Okay. Well, a very, very bizarre ending to a fight when both fighters were hurt. The comeback trail for both fighters, Steve, and it looks like Brewer has hit a fork in the road that's not going the way that he wanted. It looks like Antwun Echols is going on the up and up.